All right, guys, we are back here at, I almost said Champion of New Maelstrom, but this is, in fact, Kings of the Storm. And Jared's bobbling around doing Jared things because we're almost ready for round 3. Yeah. But let's just pop over the bracket and see what's going on there. Now, you can see we already looked at this a few times, but SMG versus Shrek on Ice, ESV Team Kill, ESV Wildfire versus ESV Tempest will be happening.
It's something that we're super familiar from a StarCraft background because, you know, it's 1v1. So you have every player from Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, you know, all the teams in the same bracket. So, you know, you see team kills all the time. But that's not something that happens in team games very often because very rarely do you see a team owning more than one team in a team game like this. So it's cool. It's kind of cool to see that kind of actually happen in a MOBA or just a team game in general. Oh, I wonder, because when you have teams like that, especially, like we heard Iacona say, they scrim against each other a lot. So there's going to be a lot of mind games going into something like this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good. Like, you know, I'm kind of sad we're not casting it, just because I would like to see what crazy drafts they pick. And there is no map striking this round. Semifinals and on is map striking, but there is predetermined maps. For those that are curious.
Yep, if you actually go to the link there listed on the bottom of the screen, kots.challenge.com, you can see all the, you can actually just look at the bracket live as it updates. You know, I mean, we have our pretty graphic here for you, but it shows that Dragonshire was round 2, round 1 was Haunted Mines, and in this best of 3 series, it's Garden of Terror for the first game. The second game we played on Cursed Hollow, and if it goes to game 3, we will be going to Blackheart's Bay. Best of 3 series, and
first best of 3.
Yeah, and when it comes to the semi and grand finals, those both have map striking. That makes it a lot more dynamic. But obviously, when we get there, we'll tell you guys how all of that works out. But yeah, so on the other side of the bracket, Team Liquid versus Team Ludo. Ludo going over Nexus Champion, Liquid going over Cal Level Gaming, and 2ARC Iliad versus Glorious, with 2ARC advancing over Cloud9 and Glorious advancing over Blame Game.
Yep. And we have the full 2ARC roster, I believe, this week. Last week, they did not have Keepers. So we should, like you predicted, we might see changes in play style. We'll have to see how this draft goes. Quibzy saying that they will pick first. They do have the higher seed, which is weird. I don't understand how the seeding works, because like
the way the seeding works is, since last week was technically the first weekly, the seeding is strictly based off of last week's performance. So 2ARC did in fact get 3rd place. They placed over Glorious as they defeated Glorious in the event, so their seed is higher. So that's exactly what the seeding is. It's based off the placings last week, and if you didn't play last week, your seed goes to the next slots below that.
So we are waiting on a few people to finish their food. We'll get the draft started as soon as possible. Garden of Terror, the first map, a pretty big map in general. We saw Glorious trying 2 weeks ago the Asmon and push comp on this map quite a bit. I'm curious if we'll see them bust them out again. 2ARC last week kind of ran the same comp multiple times, just like a same iteration of the comp. I'm curious to see, you know, with they having Keepers back and you know, this being a best of 3 so early on. Well, I guess not early. I guess all of last week was best of 3, huh? I don't remember, man. Tournaments just become a blur to me.
Last week it was best of 1 in round 1 and best of 3 for the rest of the tournament, except grand finals, which were in fact a best of 5. The event, since it was double elimination, the event ran so long and they had to postpone the finals till Monday. So that's why we had the changes here in this format.
Well, we do see the first ban, but we're going to wait again because we still have a few.
Yeah, they're not really anything happening yet. We do know the first ban, but we're going to keep holding it out on you guys till the ban's ready, till the actual draft is actually really going, because the players seem to be having a nice conversation right now in this chat.
Glorious does have a sub this week. Soma is not here. He is at the beach or something. I don't know for sure. And Nick is replacing him. Nick is a very great player and subbed with Glorious for all of their games. So this is a comfortable sub for them. They're not missing multiple players like Snowflake was, so their team should still be pretty solid. Going up against 2ARC, who does have their full roster, like we said before. I'm just curious to see, I'm expecting a Uther ban from Glorious.
Yeah, I actually would agree with that. But like I said, remember Kiefer's. He wasn't actually playing in the event last week. Kiefer's is their normal shot caller, so I think we'll see a slightly different style coming out of 2ARC in this match. I'm excited to actually see how that plans out because they actually had Quibsy doing a lot of the shot calling last week. Quibsy went for a more aggressive playstyle. He has a long background in League of Legends, and Kiefer's actually has more of a StarCraft 2 background. If you're interested in these guys here in 2ARC, we did an interview with them last night. Actually, you can go over to YouTube, just my YouTube. It's linked in the bottom here. So after the game tonight...
So you did a clairvoyance?
Yeah, we interviewed Kiefer's and Quibsy last night. So good timing, and I'm glad to see them performing well because, you know, I got to learn a lot about those guys, sit down with them, pick their brains about the community, pick their brains about their background. And that's why I know a decent amount by the two of them. The rest of their team, they're mysteries to me. Furious D.
Furious D's awesome. He's a cool guy.
He's a talented player. We've seen him play.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Jake. Are you ready for this? You got to answer. You can't dodge.
Okay.
Who's winning this series?
I'm giving it to 2ARC. I'm
score.
Completely.
What's the map score?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 2-0.
Wow.
Yep. I'm gonna give him a 2-0. I really believed. I watched them play last week, and their decision making was really good. They looked. I mean, they were playing like a team. They were playing like there was no miscommunication. They were just flowing together. Every time there was an initiation, we didn't see any overlap with the stuns. We didn't see any overlap whatsoever. Just they had a really clean, strong initiation. So the draft is in fact starting here, and we have a ban on Tychus as the first ban coming out from 2ARC.
Talking with a lot of the pro teams, a lot of them think that one of the best things you can do versus 2ARC is take Uther away from Acedia. So that's why I wouldn't have been too shocked to see an Uther ban. There it is! Oh!
There it is.
Calling it, man. Yep. It's no surprising. That Uther play last week was just so powerful. I think he got Uther every game, so they're immediately taking that way. We're seeing a quick Arthas pick coming up, and then the Tassadar Nova coming. Oh, so Arthas going to 2ARC,
wow.
And then Tassadar Nova.
Uncommon for Glorious to fire their pick that quickly. They usually sit there think. I guess it's the first pick, so it's not uncommon. But Tassadar Nova, very interesting, very unique. We've been seeing a ton of play each week. It seems like she gets a little bit more and more used. People are realizing that she can absolutely just delete people from the game, and they respond with an Abathur and Rhaegar.
Okay. That is definitely an interesting pick with that Abathur. I like the Nova pick versus Arthas. You know, you can get Spell Shield on him, but Precision Strike's really good at just clearing out the Army of the Dead. So it's not too shocking there, especially mixed with the Tassadar Storms. But Abathur Rhaegar, man. Rhaegar pick's fine. The Abathur one, this early when you don't have... Like, Abathur is just a good hero in general. So it's more of like an old meta type thing that keeps bumping with me and Abathur. Like, Abathur is just great right now.
Yeah, the thing I like about Abathur is Garden of Terror. It's such a big map, so I really like Abathur on this map. I think it's a smart choice because honestly, both teams both can run Abathur, and I think getting him early and being able to have the double Arthas is going to be really strong.
I agree. Or whoever he chooses.
Right, but that's
so
obviously that's already one huge option.
Yeah.
And if there's obviously many other. I mean, he's such a versatile character. The fact that you can get 2 of 1 heroic in the game is absolutely nuts, and you can switch that up throughout the game. It's really just now pre-10. We always say this. Abathur is a little bit kind of like a burden to some extent pre-10, and before he has his ultimate evolution.
Even then, teams are starting to think less and less of that.
Yeah, it's true.
Abathur's damage has been buffed enough to where now that people know how to play Abathur, and before people weren't responding well. Like when you have Abathur hat on you before, people were just kind of like, well, I'm still going to play like before. But when you have Abathur hat on you, you can go ham. You can go crazy amounts of ham, within a degree. So now that people are understanding how to play Abathur as well, how to play with an Abathur. He's just he is weaker pre-10, but it's not as bad as before.
Yes, I would agree. And then Anub Malfurion. All right, so Tassadar Nova, Anub Arak, Malfurion. Let's think about this.
Falstad Vala. I'm really shocked.
So
I thought
quick.
we were going to see a Falstad pick from Glorious. I was expecting Falstad and maybe a Stitches, but They go in for a Nubarak Malfurion. I'm so shocked they would prioritize Malfurion. Okay.
Chen.
Whoa.
Okay.
They were relying heavily on Tassadar Nova as their damage.
That was really interesting. So we have Falstad here with Arthas, Vala, Rhaegar, and I can't see the fifth on my screen.
It is Abathur.
Abathur, that's right. The Abathur. So yeah, I mean, obviously double strafe is an option here. Double bloodlust is an option. I didn't hit ready, but apparently it doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit it just.
I didn't hit ready either. Yeah, we just kind of went in there. But the map is loading, guys. It is Garden of Terror. We will not be seeing bloodlust. I do not think that will be the case. Not with just a single support Rhaegar. I think we'll be seeing ancestral healing.
I would agree. It's gonna be...
Bloodlust doesn't flow as well with this comp. I mean, you have Falstad, who's mainly a caster nowadays, and
I mean, you can definitely run Falstad as auto attack, and the option is there. But I do think ancestral healing does make more sense for this match here.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do these introductions. In the blue team, we have Team Glorious Gaming on the left side of the map. We have Cthulhuc on Tassadar, Nick on Malfurion, Syracuse on Nova, Glaurung on Anubarak, and ZPS running out the team on Shen. I want to point out there are no money pigs, so, you know, good luck, Glorious.
Yeah, I'm just fixing the overlays here as they are on the opposite sides that I was hoping them to be on. But
then I'll go ahead and introduce the red team then. We have Furious D here for 2ARC on Falstad, Mr. J Pickles on Abathur, Acedia on Rhaegar, Keepers on Arthas, and rounding out the team we have Quibsy on Vala.
Yeah, so we are in fact on Garden of Terror. This is round 3. All round 3 matches will be played on Garden of Terror. Large map. Obviously it's been changed many times. The games no longer run 40 minutes too frequently, and you know, pretty often, I mean, we see teams wanting to go for the seeds. Before, the mechanic, not too important. Nowadays, you want to make sure you optimize the mechanic on this map, get as many seeds as possible, especially the weaker guys that spawn in these smaller portions of the map.
As soon as they spawn, both teams usually split off and get the 15 packs. If you get 30 seeds, as long as you don't let the other team take any plant terror, you won't give them any of the major Garden Terror seeds, then you won't give them the early plant terror. And we have Keepers coming down the bot lane here with Furious D. There are 3 members here with Syracuse and Glaurung hidden in the bush. Will they be able to secure a kill on Arthas? They're going straight in. Knockup does happen. Syracuse lands the snipe. The root does go down, but Keepers is just so tanky, and with that Abathur hat, barely loses any health.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the initiation was done right, but it's Arthas. They did everything they could, but he's going to be just fine. Now Kiefer's just going to be poking and prodding around. Seeds will be up in just about 10 seconds as night will be falling. And we will, like you said, those 15 packs will get burned down pretty quickly. Pretty often we see teams split 30-30 on each side of the map.
And we do have Quibsy, SCD, and Keepers immediately stealing Glorious' side of the seeds on the top left side. Really limiting the amount of seeds they can. We'll have to see Anubarak and Nova immediately react, and they do. They take the enemy team seed, and here comes Cthulhuc coming down to take the bottom left side. So both teams will get their easy-to-gain 30 seeds. Actually, we do see that 1 seed was left there from 2ARC.
A tragic, tragic day to leave that 1 seed behind. Kiefer is going to grab it. There we go. 30-30. Split down the middle. And
how sad would it have been if Warriors picked that up and then later they got the plant terror by 1 seed?
That would be very sad. Very interesting going here on the plant terror right away by Keepers. Now with the Abathur hat, it's going to be just fine. Going to take a lot of damage. But this is actually a relatively risky play, but you know what? It looks like Glorious is going to say, we're just going to grab ours as well. Actually going to take it much more quickly. It sets you up for a gank because the plant terrors do hit relatively hard. But, you know, both teams playing passively, just splitting up the seeds. 90-90, dead even. Yeah,
you know, it's still highly debated whether you want the early plant terror. The earlier the plant terror, the easier it is to kill. And an early plant terror dies so fast. But some teams are like, you know what? As long as you can just rotate and be safe with it, you can take down 2 walls with the plant terror using the little plant throw. So.
Yep, I mean, you've got to play it like an early Dragonite. You don't go too ham with it. You kind of stay in the back line, just kind of throwing down your W, doing as much damage as you can, and just rotating around between a couple forts. It does do a decent amount of damage, but like you said, the late game plant terrors, on the other hand, those things hit like a truck, and they're terrifying. So yeah, they got to be careful.
Definitely got to be here. We see Mr. J Pickles pushing that top lane with the Abathur and able to soak lanes and help out. We're seeing early camps coming from Glorious right now. They've already taken the top seed Giants, going for the mid one now. They are roaming as Glaurung and Syracuse, which are the best roamers on their team, and then Funluck is floating when needed, just throw a storm here and there. Because, you know, Tassar, he has so much push that he can push up a lane and then have a few seconds to go do something else before the next wave of experience gets there.
Yep, and you know, everyone's just kind of posturing, making sure they soak their lanes. The levels are more or less dead even here, 7-7. Both teams will be hitting 8 in just a few moments. Merc Camp's getting grabbed here by Kiefer's, grabbing some Giants to push down the middle lane. And Quipsy looks like he was poking around, but falling back here, knowing that there are 3 members, and he doesn't want to be anywhere near the stunts and initiation they have between both ZP's on Shen and Glaurung on the new Barak.
Yeah, it's so much initiation and very tanky team, and we do have actually 2ARC. They're going to be stealing the Knights on the bottom left-hand side of Glorious, and Malfurion ends up actually coming up there, and they do see it. Quipsy is here as well, so it looks like all of Glorious is reacting. It's going to be a 5v5. You have to keep in mind, Abathur is here for Team 2ARC.
Yeah, they're going to barely get this and try to back out here. Now, Keepers is going to get picked off. He's getting a lot of damage done. Will 2ARC try to fall back to help keep him alive? We have the Abathur hat on him here.
ZPS comes in from behind, goes on to Keepers. He's getting divin on again. Will he be able to get away? The Rhaegar heals. Will it be enough? The Abathur shield goes down, but it does look like he will fall. You know, when Nova hits level 7, that's when her damage spikes, when she gets that hot shots. And we were seeing it just do massive damage, chunking Arthas time and time again. And 2ARC's mana was a little bit lower than they wanted to go into that fight because they took the early Knights.
Yeah, just nicely done. I mean, they reacted. Granted, they got Knights out of it, lost a body for Knights. The experience is a little bit in the favor of Glorious here. But, yeah, nice reaction by Glorious here.
Yeah, great job from them. Abathur pushing top lane. We do see that he did end up taking Promote, which is the standard Abathur build right now. Glorious is very close to level 10. They should have 10 before night falls. And we probably won't see it from 2ARC. It'll be really, really close. Depends on how well Abathur is soaking the lanes.
One thing I want to point out is the fact that we actually have Glaurung on a new Barak. Pretty uncommon. We typically see him playing Stitches, Zeratul, and occasionally Kerrigan, but this is actually the first time I've ever personally seen him playing a new Barak. Diversifying his hero pool, nice to see here, and I'm excited to see what he can actually get done in this game.
Yeah, ZP and Glaurung kind of doing like a role switch there. Usually ZP... Oh, we do have that dive on Quipsy, though, and immediately getting evaporated there. When you get stunned by Chen and then the Glaurung follow-up, just insta-death there. Second blood going to Team Glorious there, and both teams have the plant terrors being taken right now to see which heroes they want to throw in those.
Yeah, I mean, we can actually see Glorious is rotating down aggressively. They're a very aggressive team. A nice Clairvoyance going down by 2ARC, giving them the vision, knowing that Glorious is in fact shifting down. They're going to steal this Plant Terror, getting all these seeds that, you know, honestly, most of the work was done by 2ARC, so nicely done here by Glorious.
Quibsy still hasn't picked a heroic, and he's the one in the plants here. So when he pops out, he's going to have to react quick to get that heroic as fast as possible. Everything else looks pretty normal. We see Tranquility from Malfurion, and we do see the Ancestral healing from Rhaegar.
Oh my goodness, he tried to use Ancestral, but it wasn't going to be enough, getting a nice pick off on their Rhaegar. Glorious going to take even more seeds, punishing. They've got 2 kills and 2 terrors stole, giving them a nice level advantage, almost 1 level ahead here. And honestly, they're going to have a second Plant Terror ready under this, almost. I mean, not quite. I don't think they have a 200 seed advantage, but it's going to be... They have a lot of seeds.
1 short. They have 99.
Oh my gosh.
See, that 1 seed from before, it would have made the difference. But we have Glaurung in the Plant Terror. They're going to end up actually saving bot lane just barely. I thought that was definitely going down to 2ARC. But Quibsy's going to float up. Again, you know, first Plant Terrors, it's hard for them to take a fort unless they, like, you know, they abandon fort bot lane like they did for a long time. But you can usually get at least 2 walls, which is what you really want to aim to do.
I mean, like you said, just kind of walk around, throw the W down between each wall, do as much damage as you can, maximize the efficiency on your Terror. We can see this Terror trying to get some work out of the middle lane, but ZP's is on the little plant there. And Polymorph does go on ZP, won't be able to initiate on the Quibsy. Glaurung trying to find, it's kind of a bit difficult to get to where he wants to. I mean, 2ARC is just following him around, and wow, Abathur in that top lane with those promotive lineage is going to take top fort. Yeah, beautifully done. I mean, obviously, Promote being very strong. You can't leave him alone in that lane. Ancestral Healing doing a lot of work here, and Keeper Shockanaw going down, doing massive damage. Tranquility, Jerry, take it away.
and Glaurung dives in on here. ZPS is going straight onto Quibsy, but Furious D is stunned. They're going to leap over the wall. The wall does go down. Glaurung is full HP because he was in that plant terror the entire time. ZPS does lose his heroic. They're beating on the tower. They're going to dive on out of there. Glaurung is getting pretty low. Shields do fall. The heals from Nick are trying to keep him topped off. Right now, it's still a 1-for-0. How has no one else died? Quibsy getting pretty low. Wants to go for Syracuse. Does land the snipe. Hotshot does not follow up. Glaurung and ZP just too low to dive back in. A 1-for-0. At the same time, there's a big wave pushing top lane because of that Abathur. And he's also starting to promote and put his Locust bot lane. So 2-4's about to swing in favor because of this Abathur alone.
Yeah, I mean, really, like we said, this map is huge, and being able to have the Abathur pressure on the lane that they're not in is massive. They don't have something like Falstad to fly and react to the lanes because, again, the Falstad is on the same team as the Abathur, and that's typically what we've seen Glorious do in the past. Anytime they're up against this kind of split push strat, whether it's an Uberek, whether it's, excuse me, Asmodan, or Abathur, they tend to pick up somebody like Falstad that can quickly fly up, push the lane back, and then rotate back. But they don't have that, and they're getting punished for it.
And we do see there might be a team fight here at the Knights on the bottom side of Glorious's end of the map here. They're clearing up the Giants in the middle. Will Luck use his passive to scout it. It looks like the Knights are just going to go. And there is a Clairvoyance going down, so they do know they're not about to get ganked. And here comes ZP and Glaurung. They're not going to be able to force an initiation here. Knights go for free.
Yeah, those Knights are just going to walk right on back to the back wall here, and we actually just see 2ARC is going to grab some more mercenary camps, this time in their jungle. 30 seconds till nightfall, and again, 1 seed is all Glorious needs before their next terror. But 61, they only need 39 CT here for 2ARC, not too hard to get that.
Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to force a hard engage on 2ARC because they would want to deny as many seeds as possible so they don't get a second plant there. But because of the backdoor that Abathur is doing and the split push from Mercs in 2 different lanes, they have to defend against this. But there might be a fight here in the middle lane. Keepers does land the slow on Syracuse. The shotgun off does end up clipping him as well. Keepers gets stunned. Archon is popped. Will the Rhaegar heal be in time? He's trying to get in position for it, but the range is so slow. Acedia is being kind of back as Glaurung is feeding him away, and Keepers should end up going down. Acedia tried to swing above to get the heal, but was not there in time. Arthur's going to fall again, but look at this backdoor, man. We have Mr. J Pickles Abathur ult pushing bot lane, and we have Abathur still pushing top lane with those promoted minions.
The split push is real. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. They're actually just doing so much work with these mercenaries, and primarily the promote. That was a big team fight victory in terms of Glorious taking just a really solid initiation. Actually, the Ancestral Healing going down here on a Rhaegar, but is he going to be able to stay alive? He actually is going to get out of here. Wolf form paying off.
Yeah, Wolf form, man, being able to cast that while you're taking damage is just such an advantage on Rhaegar, able to squeeze on out of there. Bot lane has still got Mercs pushing it, and look how this big push from Abathur in the top lane, man. It's
not stopping. I mean, there's still the one, the wizard here from the Night Camp. They've got 3 promoted minions, and they're doing ridiculous damage. The amount of survivability they have in with the Abathur hat here coming on in, plus the Locust doing a lot of work. But they can actually choose to use the Plant Terror defensively to clean up the minions, but we actually have an initiation here on ZPs.
ZP is getting pretty low, but Nick is here to heal him back up. Did not end up blowing his heroic just a little bit too early here. We have Plant Terror on both teams' end. Glaurung gets in his, and we have Furious D in 2ARC. We have still Abathur sitting top lane helping push that. Luck does end up cleaning up most of the push, but those Locusts at 16. When you can spawn a lot of them, look how much damage they're doing to Luck with the Abathur hat on him.
I mean, yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. This keep is exposed, but they're defending with their own Plant Terror to keep it alive here in the top lane. Meanwhile, the rest of 2ARC is just grabbing more seeds to get the next terror, as they know these terrors. They're basically effectively stalling the entire terror that Glorious has, so they can't do much with it at all. They have so much pressure, they have to use this terror defensively, and 2ARC's investing in the future, saying, look, let's get seeds now and be ready. But Furious D is in a tough spot here, and he's actually going to lose his life.
Yeah, a good kill there for Glorious, and that's a huge kill for the reason that 2ARC wasn't able to take the top Plant Terror, allowing Glorious to catch up on seeds, because there's a huge disparity right now in the seed count. Glaurung still has 35 seconds and a lot of HP. They're going to be pushing this mid-keep. They want to go for that fort. Abathur is trying to push bot lane right now, but the team has 24 seconds on Falstad. We'll have to see who Abathur is going to heroic here. They want to take this keep. Will 2ARC be able to get it? Or Glorious be able to get it? They dive in on Quibsy. He is polymorph. Will hit Ancestral Healing be enough? They do top him back off, and there is Mr. J Pickles throwing the heroic down onto Vala as well. We'll have to see if the double strafe is enough. They're just going straight for that keep right now. They should be able to take it down, but there goes DP diving straight onto Quibsy. He does pop his heroic. He will not end up going down the core, or the keep does end up falling, and it looks like Glorious is just going to back off. They're going to have catapults pushing that lane the entire time. They have to go defend bot lane, though.
Yeah, I mean, just nicely done. They didn't overcommit. They just stayed back with their terrorists, smacking away at the keep there. Got the keep and said, look, good enough, let's back off. Nothing crazy happened there at all. I mean, it really just boiled down to the fact that 2ARC didn't have false dead ready to defend there, and they weren't able to get a full initiation, because going in 4v5, not a good idea. But I like the play by Abathur, getting the bottom lane push, keeping that bottom lane soaked, keeping their experience relatively even here, and there's going to be an initiation here on this Terror.
Kiefer's just gets stunned, and then there's the precision strike doing a lot of damage. Army of the Dead is down, but will Keith doesn't fall. He does. Acedia was not able to land that heal in time. ZPS is dying on Acedia. Cloudrunner is doing as much damage as it can. Malfurion does help secure that kill with the Moonfire and a 2-for-0. I want to point out the kills, Jake. 8-0 right now in favor of Glorious. 2ARC's been doing a great job split pushing, but they haven't secured a single kill on Glorious, and they are going straight for that core. 33 seconds on Arthas, 37 on Rhaegar. They might be able to take it.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 members down here, I mean, yeah, that bottom keep is being pushed back pretty hard for 2ARC, which is nice, but this core is going to fall pretty quick if they're not here to defend. And with 2 members down, we see just all the members of Glorious going on the core. They don't care about anything else. Wheel goes down, not going to matter. This is going to be game 1 going in favor of Glorious.
Glorious, I mean, it's something that we see in pub games a lot, you know, just solo queue and whatnot. People don't understand how easy it is to just take the core. It was only 2 deaths on 2ARC's end. But Glorious immediately realized, you know what? Yes, we're going to lose bot keep. We might lose top to the minion waves pushing there. But they immediately realized, you know what? We can win right here. They don't have their Arthas. They don't have their Rhaegar. They don't have any sustain at all. We can just take the core. There's nothing they can do about it. Abathur ult is currently down. And they did. They pushed it, and they easily took that core. It's just good decision-making from a solid team.
Yeah, I mean, we see that happen more and more and more lately as teams are realizing that, again, it's not like a lot of other games where you have, like, maybe 4 or 5 layers of defense in your base. It's actually, the core is pretty exposed. Once the keep is down, it's pretty much open for business. And people, you just see teams going S5, and they made the right call to end the game. So nicely done by Glorious, guys. This is, in fact, a best-of-3 series. The next map is going to be Cursed Hollow. And we're going to take a minute to just set it up here. We're just going to throw to a quick commercial, and we'll be right on back. Guys, we are back here with game number 2 between 2ARC Iliad and Glorious Gaming. Game 1 went to Glorious, so it's 1-0. This is the best of 3 series. And we're going to have the draft ready in just a moment.
Yep, and actually the picks and bets have already started. Like I said before, a lot of people think that, well, I was going to say it. People think that Acedia is kind of like an Uther-only player. Take Uther away from him, and then he falls off a lot. So very likely we're going to see Uther bans a lot, and we've seen 2 back-to-back immediately from Glorious. So the first bans are Uther and Noob, deciding that Glaurung's Anubarak was just too much to deal with that game. Going to go ahead and ban that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if it isn't broken, why fix it? We've seen that actually a lot recently. I mean, last week at in Champions of New Maelstrom, we actually saw Descent playing against... I forget the name of the team. It was one of the Chinese teams. But essentially, they were losing to Zeratul. And once they started banning Zeratul as a best-of-5 series, they banned Zeratul every game, and it worked out well for them. So this game, I mean, you banned Uther. You know they're good at Uther. Let's ban an Uther as well. And first pick on Tassadar, largely considered to be the best hero in the game. No big surprise there.
Yep, no shocker there. Just a little bit of a bracket update for you guys. Team Liquid goes over Team Ludo.
Already?
Don't know what the score is. I'm assuming it's 2-0 since it's so fast.
Whoa.
But Team Liquid did take that set as
Wow. Wow, that was quick. I mean, maybe they started before 5 o'clock. This round was scheduled for 5 o'clock, so they could have started a little bit earlier than that. I guess that was probably streamed on the other stream. But
yep.
Congrats to Team Liquid advancing into the semifinals. And while we have our draft continue here, I'm just going to update that bracket really quick. So it looks like we actually have Tychus Arthas as the picks in counter to Tassadar, in favor of 2ARC for Tychus Tassadar there.
Not a like pretty standard.
Yeah, exactly. This is North American meta at its finest. These are the 3 best characters. A lot of people think that at least, and let's grab them.
I mean, normally we normally don't see like the picks happen like this just because we don't normally see like an Uther X ban. Usually either Arthas, Tassadar, or Tychus are all still currently banned. So, you know, it's funny that the match that none of those 3 are actually banned, they're immediately the first 3 picks, which makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean it's very very just standard pick procedure right there, and it's just safe. Like it's not showing your cards. It's very generic. It's a smart thing to do.
Okay, well, let's see what Glorious is going to pick. Oh man, that's a tough one. Anubarak's banned, so we're not going to see that quickly. I kind of want to expect either Nova or Falstad. Probably Nova again, just because Syracuse's Nova was really sick that game.
Yeah, they're very comfortable on Nova for sure.
But I wouldn't be too shocked at Falstad either. As for the other pick, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's been so long since I've cast Glorious. I don't know how Rhaegar heavy they are. You know, when we see when I play with Nick and he supports, it's mainly him. Like Nick's just a well-rounded player in general, but he mainly likes to play Malfurion and Brightwing. So I don't know if we'll see a Rhaegar pick instantly. But you know, we will be seeing a damage. I just don't know what support we're going to see from them. It's just been so long since I've cast Glorious.
I mean, Glorious has a very diverse roster of heroes they can run. They all of the members of Glorious, including Nick, who is a sub, have a diverse number of heroes they can pick from. So you can't restrict them to anything. It's hard to actually just say, look, we want to not do this. Now, granted, Glaurung, a guy that they would always be like, okay, we're going to ban Stitches because Glaurung is so good at Stitches. So Glaurung then became, honestly, I think even better and even more terrifying with Zeratul. So I think his Zeratul is scary. But we even saw him play Anubarak when both of those options were open in the last game. So I mean, it's just really showing how hard all the players have been working to diversify their roster and make sure they don't have any weekends when it comes to the draft, as the drafting process of this competition is half the battle.
Falstad Abathur, so we did see that Falstad pick. Abathur, wonder who's going to play it, because Nick has a really good Abathur play. But they like to throw him on their support. No one's picking their heroes, and it's making me salty.
You know, I wonder if they pick this Abathur almost to steal it from their opponents, because the Abathur kind of probably scared them a little bit. I mean, it did a lot of work on them. Honestly, the top keep, I believe it fell in the bottom keep, was close to falling in that game, strictly from Abathur push. So I feel like they just said, well, you know what, we actually almost lost to that. This is Cursed Hollow, another big map just like Garden of Terror. We don't want to allow them to have that.
Okay, so Syracuse is playing Abathur. Don't know which one of them is playing Tassadar.
Now, they can always still shuffle through the hero, so it's not necessarily
They
locked
shouldn't
in.
do that, though, because I like to talk about it. Glorious Damn.
Yes, it's always possible that they'll shuffle at the end here before the game gets going. So the heroes that we see here on the side, you can of course see ZPs is currently playing Tassadar.
Chen Rhaegar.
And Chen Rhaegar. I like this when you pair Panda Pals with Bloodlust. I mean, it gives you that health bar, it gives you a lot of survivability and initiation. Obviously, we can most certainly see Ancestral Healing happening in this match.
So their comp right now is Tychus, Arthas, Chen, Rhaegar. They are missing their damage, so more than likely it'll be either Vala or Nova, depending on how this next pick goes for Glorious.
You know, the other option here that would be interesting to see is actually Zagara. With a composition like this, Zagara actually has pretty good auto attack, even though she's largely minion based, but I actually like to see her in these kind of strategies. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Zagara pick as another range, because like you said, Nova's very good, but Nova doesn't necessarily benefit from Lust that much, whereas Zagara would more so.
Yeah, but usually Zagara gets like more of a dive heavy comp for that Maw. It depends on what heroes. There's a lot of good heroes open for Glorious to pick right now. We still have Tyrael up. We still have Stitches up. They're going to need another support. I don't know. They might not run a support. Oh, they're going to run Stitches Malfurion. Glaurung Stitches. It's back. It's time.
It's time, he says in the chat. I love it.
So Zagara wouldn't be good versus the Stitches pick, just because Maw is
right.
Like, there's no dive on this comp.
I agree with this. And yes, Stitches Malfurion, that's very exciting here. The full roster is going to be Tassadar, Malfurion, Abathur, Stitches, and Falstad, as we can see on the right. That is, in fact, going to be Glorious's team here.
It's a really cool comp. I'm curious as to who Abathur is going to be heroicing most.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked if they were busting it out on Stitches just for the double hook. And woo, Zeratul pick for the final pick. I don't know how I like that. I guess like they're picking up the Zeratul just so like if a hook does happen, they can Void Prism to counter it.
Yeah.
Like, and save their ally, maybe.
That sounds like what they want. It sounds like they're really picking it for the Void Prism, but at the same time they can go Abathur hunting.
And Zeratul kind of counteracts Bloodlust, so it will definitely be...
well, Bloodlust is their side.
Yeah, they have the Rhaegar, so they won't get Bloodlust. Why would you get Bloodlust when you're Void Prisming half the team? It kind of like counteracts each other.
You can use it well, and when you consider the rest of their composition, I mean, Bloodlust, I mean, Arthas, you have Arthas and Panda Pals.
Well, like, okay, so say they Bloodlust, or say they Void Prism, and then they Bloodlust, then all Glorious has to do is run into the Void Prism. So they'll have to either cancel the Void Prism or waste time on Bloodlust. Like, it just doesn't flow.
Or you just wait for the Bloodlust after. It depends. It depends on how they want to take this. I agree with you that Ancestral Healing does seem like the more likely option here, but there's still ways to make it work. I don't know. I mean, time will tell for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Waiting on Cthulhu Luck to ready up. The map is Cursed Hollow. Again, it's 1-0 in favor of Glorious. And Cthulhu has ready up, so the countdown should begin as soon as they hit. Yes. Yeah. Quibsy, hit, yes, do it.
Quibsy, you can do it. Yes, Quibsy, and the game is starting, guys. It's going to be game 2 on Cursed Hollow between Glorious and 2ARC Iliad. Will 2ARC be able to bring it back?
Or is it going to be a 2-0, completely counteracting the prediction from Mr. Jake earlier today?
I called for a 2-0 on 2ARC. I had faith. I interviewed them yesterday, and just everything they said, you know, they sound really confident, and I love to see that. Let's hope and pray the teams are on the right side of my overlay for this game, and guys, it is not. It is not. So I'm going to fix that, and Jared will introduce the teams here.
All right, on the blue side of the map, we have team 2ARC Iliad with Furious D on Tychus, Keepers on Arthas, Quibsy on Zeratul, Acedia on Rhaegar, and Mr. J Pickles rounding out the team on Shen. And in the red trunks on the right side of the map, we have Team Glorious Gaming, Syracuse on Abathur, ZPS on Tassadar, Nick on Malfurion, Cthulhu Luck on Falstad, and Glaurung on that Stitches.
Hashtag production value. Sorry for having to do that at the start of the game, guys, but it's with the current custom game system, it's very hard to tell which side they're going to spawn on.
Hashtag production value.
And yes, we do see both teams are rotating here in the mid. Now, I lowered my spell effects graphics here in this game, so hopefully the performance doesn't cry a little bit here. Once we get the big initiations happening, should be just fine in this match. Now, Quibsy, hide in here in the brush, gonna see if he can spot anyone, and we just noticed that we just have pretty much all of Glorious, or at least 4 members here in the bottom lane, waiting to see what they can get done.
And they're going to start pushing this lane pretty hard. False Side's immediately going to fly back to the mid lane just to soak the experience there. Will Kiefer's and Quibsy be able to make something happen here? Kiefer's going straight in. Cthulhuck was immediately ready for it, though, and not going to get rooted there at all.
Yep, in the top lane, we got Glaurung versus Mr. J Pickles. Now, Mr. J Pickles on Chen, able to sustain a ton of damage by drinking his brew, giving him that shielding. Honestly, we like to say that Tyrael is largely considered to be, like, possibly the best laner, but a hero like Chen can really just out-sustain and just sit there and not really give a darn about the damage output of Tyrael.
Yeah, I think Stitches might actually just be the best hero.
Oh my goodness, here in the bottom lane, we have a nice initiation on Nick. He's going to fall here, and ZPs will be able to back up, and a nice pickup here by 2ARC.
Yeah, just not enough shielding there from that Avatar, getting a little bit too greedy there. And First Blood going to go over to 2ARC, and immediately Kiefer's and Quibsy roaming up. Looks like they're wanting to take their Knights pretty early. Wow.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, a lot of teams tend to try to wait for their Knights and try to time them right before the curse is about to spawn the first curse, so you have that extra distraction that the enemy team has to worry about. But it's still so far prior to that, and they really feel they can soak 3 lanes and be safe doing so. And it looks like it's going to pay off for them. Now, Rhaegar floating down to throw him a heal seems a little unnecessary, as he's not going to be soaking this next lane. He might lose a little bit of XP, but still, I like the play.
It doesn't look like Cthulhuck's going super, but up there he is. He's starting to push it now, but they should just be there in time. The Knights have been taken, and now the first tribute's going to spawn within the next 30 seconds. So that gives 30 seconds for Glorious to clean up these Knights, maybe less depending on how fast it spawns.
Oh my god, look at how greedy they're going. They're going right in the jungle. Oh, they're just poking, make sure they're not doing their Knights. Thought they might go for the pickup here, which is in fact incredibly greedy. Mr. J Pickles again just kind of continuing to sustain here, and they're going on Glaurung to see if they can get a kill here. Will the root be enough from Uther? No, Arthas. Nice dodge. Oh my god, Mr. J Pickles.
Yeah, next time make that gank almost didn't work because Keepers went from a different angle of Quibsy, but they still were able to kill that kill. Second Blood going over to Team 2ARC, and level advantage isn't that big of a deal to where it matters as long as they don't hit 7 in the middle of this fight, so Glorious should be able to contest this.
Yep, I mean, like you said, level advantage is quite even at this point in the game. Talents aren't there, and we see all the members of Glorious coming here, getting Keepers rooted, gonna burn him down. That's a huge pickup as the tribute spawns. They don't have their Glorious they don't have their Arthas in the front line, and honestly, they should be falling back here, just returning to lanes to soak.
And it looks like Nick is going to zone out that. Quibsy's going to actually delay that. Nope, he ends up actually eluding it, tried to delay it as much as he could. And you have to keep this in mind that when Glorious goes for these fights like this, most of 2ARC's going to come as well. Mr. J Pickles didn't, but Avatar is soaking 2 lanes at a time. Yeah. So Glorious isn't missing out on much experience. Obviously, Avatar's going to be joining in team fights as well, but he's also going to be soaking multiple lanes of experience, which is huge. Yeah,
and Cthulhuck just going into the enemy jungle, bribing their Giants here. A really nice pickup, getting the XP and the pressure here on their top back wall. They need to react, because if they don't, these Giants are going to get a free tower here in the top lane. Nicely done by Cthulhuck.
And the experience is almost dead even here. Level 8 versus level 7. Just about to hit 8 for Glorious. Next tribute should be spawning soon. We'll have to see. Does it spawn on the RNG side of the map, which would be the bottom right, or for Glorious, or will it be in the top left? That's the one major complaint people have about this map is that RNG factor. You never know where that tribute's going to spawn.
But it also creates a really cool dynamic in this map where you don't have any guaranteed and you have to play on the fly. So personally, I think it might be the best map in the pool here. Always exciting games, and one game is never the same exact copy of another game, that's for sure.
That is a good point. Definitely keeps it different here. We do have Quibsy coming in for a gank on Cthulhuck. The slow does go down, but the shield from his barrel will be more than enough to keep him alive. And We'll have to see how many members of each team. It looks like 2ARC's either going to just delay or give this one up because they are down in the bottom left doing their Grave Golem, and it looks like this will be a free tribute. Zeratul will not get there in time, so 2 tributes in favor of 0 going for Glorious right now.
Yeah, I mean, giving up 2 tributes, obviously it's not giving up a curse quite yet. They're going to just be going for their golem. Meanwhile, 2ARC is just going to be pushing with their golem here in the bottom lane, seeing what they can get done. The preemptive mule was put down by Avatar to see if he can install a little bit of damage here, slow this down. But honestly, what do you think that Glory should do here? Should they react after grabbing the golem, float down, clean this up, or should they just counter push in the top lane?
It looks like they're going to go for the counter push. I don't think they could react and push the other lane just because they're not 10 yet. They don't want to get caught in a bad position.
That's a good point.
They are going to hit 10 now, though. So they do have their heroics. Let me just check to see what heroics everyone's taken. Yeah, everything is looking normal. Social Heat and Tranquility both taken. Gorge is taken. A lot of people are going Putrid Bile right now on Stitches, but Glaurung is still a firm believer that Gorge is the better choice.
We have all the members here hearthing back for Glorious to defend their keep here. Now they don't want to just give up this keep. 2ARC realizing, hey, we've done enough damage. We got one of the towers down, mostly got the wall. Let's back up here. Now they do have a mule that will heal up the wall nice and quick, and the members of 2ARC have dispersed back into the map as the 3rd tribute of the game has spawned.
And here we go. Tribute is on the bottom side, already in position is 2ARC, which normally would be bad because of Glaurung, though. They're going to have to get those sick hooks. Does miss the hook onto Quibsy, though, so it's going to be the delay game for now. Avatar does help take that top lane with that Grave Golem. Will they go for the delay here, or will Glorious just back off? And they're going to go for it here. Fiercey does end up looting the tribute, though, so Glorious definitely needs to capitalize off of this Avatar heroic. Needs to snag a killer, too. The hook does end up missing just barely, not able to hit that Zeratul, and unfortunate use of that Avatar because it is getting no use.
Yeah, I mean, they really just went for that hook, see if they could get a pick here. Once they realize they didn't get the hook, they're just going to fall back, soak the lanes. They're level 11. They're actually pretty much dead even in experience in this game. Knight's going to be grabbed here by 2ARC on their side, and Glorious is going to respond by grabbing their Knights on their side of the map here. Actually, we got the Clairvoyance being shown here. I like this delay, but no, they're saying whatever, let's grab it. We know they're a Knight camp.
They saw the Knights get taken there. They knew there was no way they could get over there in time, so they're going to take the Knights. Forts right now, they are dead even, but you always have to keep in mind with that injured bot lane, there's a moment that 2ARC can SMG at any moment, just go for that backdoor and try and take that course or the keep. So Glorious is going to have to be kind of paying attention to that bottom lane for a while now.
And this mule continuing to get ridiculous value. Sham2 would be proud right now. The biggest advocate of mule potentially in the entire alpha right now.
Oh boy. That mule love is real from Sham2, and the tribute does end up spawning. It is topside, and Glorious is in prime position to set up for it. Giants are taken on the left side of the map for 2ARC, and both teams are going to be going for this one. 2ARC really can't let this one go because it'll be a curse. They don't really have that much of the lanes pushed, so a curse would be pretty devastating right now. Glaurung is in position. Will he land the hook? There is DPS using his trait, giving them that extra vision, and Tassadar and Stitches is just such a strong combo here. Will Glaurung look at Stitches? He does land a hook, but Quibsy immediately going to back out of there. Mr. J Pickles coming in. Storm does go down a huge Void Prism, and Acedia, will he actually be able to loot that? Will Cthulhu just go for the shotgun on to delay and say, no, the tribute is going to go towards 2ARC. Glaurung getting a lot of damage on him. The Healing Ward does end up going down, and Glaurung is going to get eliminated. I mean, what was Glorious doing there? They were just set up for the fight, and none of them were going to commit, though.
I mean, they were just asking for that Void Prison. It came down, and it was perfect, really just securing that the perfect initiation that they wanted. I mean, even 2ARC, I like their play of just staying back, not really popping their heroics too soon. When they saw they had the chance to get the kill on Stitches, we saw Panda Pals come down, Storm Earth and Fire on Chen Storm Stout, but I'm pretty sure that's the only heroic they really popped other than Void Prison.
Cthulhu's got to be careful, though. A lot of teammates from 2ARC are here, and he is not getting away from this. The poison does go down. He tries to fly away, but just a little bit too late. Another kill going over to 2ARC. Kills are 4-1 in favor of Glorious. Or in favor of 2ARC, sorry.
Yes, in favor of 2ARC here. They're doing it, and they're back in the game. In terms of the tributes, it's 2-2. This is the 5th tribute, and one team will be getting a curse here. It's a very crucial point in the game to get this curse. You don't want to fall behind, because if you lose this curse, you're pretty much guaranteeing that your team's going to hit 16 before you, and they can get pretty much any engagement they want if they're in a good spot. But a nice hit here, Mr. J Pickles.
And they're going to go straight for that wall there, and they're going to be not going to be leaps over, but a lot of damage was done to him, and they just have to delay. They can't engage without their fall set. Furiously is going for the loot of it. Will it end up getting delayed? It does. Malfurion does land the midfire. Syracuse does use Abathur Heroic onto Tasker. ZP is going to get out of there. A lot of damage being done. CDA is going for the loot there, and that looks like it will be a curse for 2ARC. No delaying that.
And yeah, now every single lane is pushed, and actually we see the Ancestral Healing going down on Keepers. Keepers going in. We see Odin. We have the nice Void Prison here, locking them in, and the initiation is here. It's real. Very nicely done by 2ARC. Getting Glorious out of position. Tranquility getting healed him up nicely, but Glaurung, he's in a bad spot. He's way forward. Is he going to be able to live here?
They ended up getting a huge Chance around onto Abathur. He ends up going down as well. All five members of Team 2ARC are still alive. And then with Furiously coming out of full health, what can they do? 3v5. The Curse is going to be pushing every lane right now. Bot lane is already hurt. Mid lane is going to start taking some damage as well. Glorious has to scramble to stay alive here.
They had a split decision there. They were going towards the middle of the map, and they said, you know what, look, I have Healing Ward. We can go take this Golem here. We have multiple members of Glorious that have eyes on this. They don't want to give it up, but I don't know that they can do much without their Abathur and their Stitches in this fight.
Definitely can't contest that, and that waiting around to figure out if they should is just giving the Curse more and more time to push. Mid-fort just about to fall. I don't know if Nick is going to be able to defend this on his own. Bot keep is exposed now. They do have the mule down there, so it will not fall. But this mid-fort is definitely going to fall, and that puts the fort 4-5 in favor of 2ARC right now.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, it's not a massive lead, but like we said, level 16 will be hit a little bit prior. If they manage to get a second Golem here, not only will it guarantee 16 for their team, but it gives them that additional push in the bottom lane, which is already exposed. Top fort goes down from the Golem, and they just have the pressure on the map right now. But Glorious getting a position here.
And will they be able to make the plays happen here? The Grave Golem does end up going over to 2ARC, and Glorious is just going to back off, not willing to engage that just yet. The level 16 advantage might have been too much intimidation for Glorious to want to fight. They're just going to let them get that in. Move on to other camps.
I mean, realizing that they have a Golem already pushing in the top here, they don't want to just let that wall get pushed down for free, and they have another Golem on the way, just saying, all right, look, let's just fall back posture here. We'll get back into the game in a moment, but we don't want to throw away too much structural damage that we don't have to.
Evan the Grave Golem and Giants are pushing bot lane. All of Glorious is here to defend, which frees up the Knights on their side of the map for 2ARC's taking. They should not lose this keep here, but it's just delaying. Both teams are level 16 right now, and I don't know. 2ARC's doing a great job. They're roaming as a team. They're taking full advantage of this time they have.
Look at the map. I mean, just the map is blue. Everywhere you look, every Merc camp except for their Giants, which aren't even worth their time in their opinion right now, are blue and taking complete domination in terms of the objectives after getting that curse. And nicely done by them. We're seeing really strong, really decisive play, but it's not over yet because one big team fight can totally turn around this game.
Knights pushing mid here, and all of 2ARC is here to assist it. They want to try and at least take this wall down. Abathur is defending this this tower right now, just putting a little bit of extra shielding on it. They do not want to lose this, and 2ARC not going to be able to make anything happen with this push. You know, once the first curse happens, or a curse in general happens, there's, you know, a few minutes of time where the team that got the curse pushes, and then they have full control of the Mercs. And then the other team is just playing pickup until the next tribute spawns. I think it's like a 3-minute. It's like about 3 minutes until the next tribute starts spawning.
Yes, between the tribute timers, that sounds about right. And we see they're just going to grab these Giants, finalizing their blue control of this map. Perfect kill in terms of the mercenaries. Nicely done. Tribute is in fact spawning. It'll be up in about 10 seconds. It's here on the 2ARC side of the map, and we will definitely be seeing a full team fight here.
And Glorious desperately wants to take this here, and the hook does go, but does not, just barely miss on that Quibsy. Glaurung is just like scratching the ears of these people. Not enough meat there for him to land the pull. Quibsy does a lot of damage to Syracuse's Abathur there, and Fiercely does actually get the tribute, and Glorious is immediately going to back off.
Yeah, realizing what they were after is no longer there. No reason to potentially lose a team fight, because if they lose a team fight at this point in the game, they could lose the game. If they just beeline to the base, that bottom keep is already low, and at least the keep would fall pretty much for sure.
Yeah, when you wipe,
for sure.
Yeah, when you wipe between 17 and 20, or like before 20, you don't have any resurgences, so those are long death timers. Oh my god, Glaurung is just not getting lucky. Yeah. Quibsy is just dodging all of these.
Yeah, nicely done by Quibsy. I mean, just really juking all those hooks. And Syracuse, his clone is gonna fade there. no longer have to worry about that heroic, and he'll just want to rotate to soak these lanes. Obviously, these giants are still pushing down the top lane, doing work here, but these promoted minions will help power them down.
Definitely, for sure. And then the next tribute is spawning, and 2ARC is already in perfect position here. And because Glorious has no hard initiate, they can't just dive to delay the tribute. So every time that this has happened where 2ARC has been in prior position, Glorious hasn't been able to do much to stop them from getting the tributes.
Yeah, I mean, Glorious is a little bit late to the fight here. No hook's going to happen as we have multiple body blocks ready to go here. We see just double spikes coming out of Zeratul, just saying, get out. This is our tribute. 2-2 again. Now it's 4 tributes in this game, or excuse me, 5 tributes in this game in favor of 2ARC to the 2 of Glorious. They're just playing safe. I like the fact that they haven't done anything super greedy. They haven't overcommitted. They're just continuing to grab the objectives across the map, making sure they control the map, and once they get the curse, we'll definitely see them want to get greedy. But the next team fight at the curse is do or die for Glorious.
And the hook that's finally landed on Quibsy, they get the Gorge, but they have to keep in mind that he does have Blink. The root immediately goes down, though, and finally they secure those kills on Zeratul they've been desperately wanting, and in perfect time. There's 50 seconds on this Zeratul pick before he is back alive, and the tribute should have spawned by then.
You know, Curse Fury actually calls that spit 'em on my lawn. You actually throw the roots down from Malfurion. You use the Gorge to eat up the player that's gorging. You just spit them out on the lawn.
Oh, the back door, though, they're going for it. They're going to take that keep, and if Glorious doesn't react in time, they might get backdoored, or they might lose the core. Someone needs to stay behind, though, and loot that tribute. It looks like they don't even care. They just want to defend against the all-in here. Will the core end up falling? ZP comes in for might immediately bust that arc. Mr. J Pickles is lagging behind here. Probably might end up dying here. Will the hook end up being good? Glaurung has so much range right now, and they're just going to go on Mr. J Pickles. Nice touch of
my
the hook.
goodness!
Oh, Mr. J Pickles with the hook, or with the jukes there, does end up popping Storm, Earth, and Fire, and should end up still going down, though. He's going to have to pull some master tricks here if he wants to survive here. Botfort ended up dying to Giants, and there's a huge Grave Golem pushing top lane for Glorious. So while all this is happening, 2ARC is losing ground, and they're probably going to lose this tribute, too.
Oh my god, Mr. J Pickles actually going to get out of here. The Ancestral Healing going down to guarantee his survivability here, and I can't believe he lived, but the hook is real, and he's going to be trapped in here, but actually flying kick right on over the root, the spit on my lawn, but a big Void Prison, prepping with the Odin.
There's the Malfurion Tranquility, Cthulhu Luck, and Secures Hughes immediately getting erect here, and just the perfect setup there from Team 2ARC. Quibsy doing some damage on the Nick. He ends up falling. 3 members left. Tassar is being chased right now. ZP definitely not getting out of here. He's going to fall as well. Only one that survives is Stitches. But at the same time, though, Top Keep did fall. Curse was actually taken. So despite losing that team fight, 2ARC really can't do much right now. They have to defend.
They need to send a couple members back to defend, and it looks like they're actually just going to grab
the Abathur backdoor. The Locusts are doing so much damage with that Abathur hat.
Oh,
with the Grave Golem.
they don't even realize this is happening.
They're going to lose it. They don't even know what's happening. 30%, 24%. The Grave Golem with the Abathur hat might be too much. Kiefer shows up. 12%. Will the Abathur hat be there to save it? 7%. The core's going to fall. Glorious Gaming. Will they have enough damage? 2%.
What? 2%. It's still alive. Oh my goodness.
All it takes is Falstad flying across the map, an Abathur heroic. Any damage scratching this can kill it right now. Will Glorious get greedy and go for the kill, or will Abathur just go for a burrow in the back? If they can get vision over there, Abathur might just go for it himself. Zeratul is poised here to stop any shenanigans like that. But wow, Abathur plus the Grave Golem doing so much damage.
Oh, I can't believe that. Like, oh, it's just absolutely ridiculous how much damage came out of the Golem and the promoted minions. I mean, just shows how strong of a talent Promote is ever since the change here. And it went from 2ARC being in the ultimate position of aggression to they can die to anything, and they pretty much have to leave Quibsy in their base at all times. They're going to get this keep here. It's a nice pickup. They're going to try to push, but we see Falsehead is in the base. Cthulhu wants, oh, but the Void Prison to save the keep here, or the core here. Oh, yeah, he's actually not going to be able to get it. The timing was just a bit off. Syracuse.
Did Glorious just throw?
Yeah, they did.
Glorious just threw. They just threw the batch. Oh, no, they went a bit too ham there. They should have realized Zeratul was on the fence. The Void Prism keeping the core alive. They even lost Abathur there. What a close, crazy game.
What?
I can't believe Glorious threw that in the last second.
Oh my goodness. I mean, nicely done by Quibsy. Getting that Void Prison. I'm like slouched in my chair because I can't even believe how ridiculous that was. But just the defensive Void Prison showing how strong and how much utility exists with that ability. Apparently Rip Zoya's cam here as he is, there he is. Oh, he's living. Very good. But yeah, I mean, we all saw it. We saw Quibsy. He was staying in the base. He did what he had to do. He knew it was coming. They had the false set fly and the Abathur coming in as an opportunity. False set, he threw down the shock and awe with the attempt to burn down the core, but Void Prison lasted just long enough. If it hit, it probably would have ended the game, as again, the core had retained most of its shields, or most of the shields had regenerated, and but 2%, but with a big push like that, taking down the keep and just going on in with 2 members down.
I wonder if Glorious thought, like, so they've got this big push, they have Odin, we don't have Tassar. Maybe they thought there was no way they're going to defend the core, so they just kind of YOLO'd it, but
yeah.
that I don't know. Or maybe they just thought Zeratul was going to go for the push as well. I don't know. I don't know what was going through Glorious. So there's a lot of options. So it wasn't just like, oh, let's just go ham and like throw it. You know, there were a lot of possibilities that could have happened there.
They thought about it. They weighed their options and they said, look, we need to try to win here. Otherwise, we're going to lose to this push. So they went for it, but Quibsy clutched it out, allowing them to take the game there. Well played by 2ARC. Well played by Glorious.
Go ahead and join off me.
Okay.
I'm in the lobby.
Lobby's already going good. That's what I like to hear.
That ending, man. Like, I'm just watching stream chat because it's happening right now, and it's just that 2%.
Honestly, probably the hypest ending I've experienced so far in Heroes.
I have yet to scream like that in the Heroes cast. That was
my mind is still kind of blown. I won't lie. I mean, wow, what a game! What a game, guys.
Yeah. And think of it like if Kiefer's didn't go back when he did to defend against that Grave Golem, it would have lived, like, or would have gotten the core. Like, there were so many things that could have just really happened in that game that would have won it for Glorious. So we're gonna have to we're on Blackheart's Bay. This is the final match of this series.
Yes, Game 3, match point, Round 3 of here Kings of the Storm Weekly number 2. Winner advances to the semifinals. I don't know if we have a bracket update yet. Looks like SMG went over Shrek on ice to advance to their semifinals. ESV Tempest versus ESV Wildfire is currently underway, and we are doing 2ARC versus Glorious going to Game 3. The winner of this next game here will advance to play against Team Liquid.
Which will most likely be the game we're casting, just to keep the games flowing. Yeah,
I think that sounds right.
But who knows? We might do a bracket swap. Depends on, you know, if the other side is ready as well. Man, that game. I'm like still like, I can't believe that ending.
Yeah, it's like I said. I've cast quite a few games so far. A good 40+ games here of Heroes of the Storm. That easily takes the cake as to the best ending. Like bar none. That was incredible. Just so many close situations.
Look at chat explode.
Oh, they finally caught up. Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome, guys.
My God.
Man, it's seriously, what a game. Wow. But yes, we're propping up the next lobby here. I'm enjoying the chat.
Yeah, that was an insane ending. That was like the craziest, most hype ending I've ever cast. And wow. You know, and those losses have to lie. Like,
you got to be on tilt. You got to be on tilt.
That's just crazy. Like, 2ARC's got to be riding a crazy high right now. They barely held the Kubi's question emote. I wonder what, you know, we're not waiting on Glorious right now. We're waiting on a bunch of 2ARC guys to get in the lobby, which they are starting to get in now. I wonder how, this is a completely different map than the first two. Like, Blackheart's is just like a unique map on its own. It's just so different than everything else we have. So we could see completely different drafts. I still wouldn't be shocked if we saw an Uther band, like, again.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really do think we'll see that. I would be shocked if there's no Uther band, because it's been working out for them in the long run. I mean, granted, 2ARC looked really good in that game, but I don't know if there's anything else that like was standing out to Glorious saying, look, we need to remove that. Like,
yeah,
Uther is a scary hero, that's for sure.
It's hard to play against, like, just in, like, not ignoring the whole 2% thing and then Zeratul saving it at the end. It's hard to play against a Zeratul on the map just because, like, we saw so many Void Prisms that just because the map is so narrow with its tight corners and stuff, that Void Prism just hits everybody. And that's what we saw multiple times.
Yep.
So it's hard to play against a Zeratul on that map in general. But man, gotta give MVP of that game definitely goes to Quibsy.
Oh, he was juking hooks left and right. I mean, that decisive Void Prison at the end and the delay from the Abathur, or the deny from the Abathur, trying to go in and jazz hands his way, smacking at the core. Not going to work. Quibsy played like a boss. I mean, really just his reactions were on point. Really, really decisive Void Presence. He didn't jump the gun ever. He saved it until the exact moments as to when he needed it. Used it decisively. Well done.
Yeah. So everyone is in the game now. I'm going to be waiting for the picks and bans. I'm going to go ahead and let them ready. We'll have to see how the pick bans phase goes. I believe that 2ARC gets the choice, correct? Of who picks first?
That sounds right to me.
Or Glorious. I'm so confused on the whole.
Steve's tournament format is still a little bit of a mystery to me as well. So we'll have to. I usually have him here to confirm or deny, but
yeah, every tournament right now, as I dip off camera to pick something up off the floor, has a completely different format. So they just blur together for me.
That's completely fair. No one can fault you for that, as everything is still very early here in the competitive Heroes of the Storm community. Guys, while we wait, feel free to hit the follow button both on my channel and over at twitch.tv/ZoyaTV. Both of us are very active Heroes of the Storm streamers, often going late into the night, early in the morning, various times here, but we do very much enjoy.
We are Heroes people.
Yes.
I don't think we've announced it either, but for King of the Nexus, for those of you that know about it, it's the King of the Hill series that I run on my channel with Sham2. We are going to be casting it Monday night. It's going to be Symbiote Gaming versus Cloud9, so you guys can get hyped about that.
And
Cloud9 hype, man. They're playing and stuff.
Yeah,
Curse.
Yeah, they are. They're playing in that event. We had a good showing for them today. They did, in fact, fall to 2ARC. And I mean, I'm actually reading my Twitter right now, and it's just like, wow, that was close. 2%. Holy crap! I almost had a heart attack. Ridiculously lulzy ending from says Dunk Train to the end of 2ARC versus Glorious. We play the winner of this next match. I love it. I love already seeing the Twitter community blowing up as well here. In like, I mean, because Heroes such a young community. Guys, we're still setting up the draft here.
No, they're going.
Oh,
they're going.
We
ban Anub and Uther like last game, and then immediate first pick Tychus from Quibsy.
Well, like you said, the Uther ban. 3 games in a row, no surprise there. I mean, we've seen the Uther on Acadia here, and it's quite good. And it's, you know, didn't look like he's actually a one-trick pony though, because 2ARC looked really solid in that last game, and not having Uther didn't affect them one bit.
Yeah, his regular play was looking pretty solid there. Very rarely were we seeing the Insane Shirls with, and then we're seeing Arthas Tassler, and there we go, ZP busting out the Master Skin Arthas, guys.
Right away. Yes, we're going to see that. It is
happening.
Yeah, the Master Skin Arthas. We can't see it on my screen, unfortunately. There's no way to bounce.
Oh, no, it looks so sexy.
I know, there's no way to bounce between the teams in the current state of this. Well, we don't really have a draft client. This is just the custom game client. And the Observer client is no different than the player client, which is why the middle section here will always say invite. It will never show that middle hero to us. Hopefully Blizzard fixes it before long, but honestly, I don't think a single one of us cares too much, as we're just happy to have custom games here and the ability to run events like this.
Oh, absolutely. It was such a pain before. And Blizzard's, you know, they're like, let's give it to them. And we're like, thank you, you guys are awesome. And we're like, we know, we make great games, we know. But Blizzard knows they're awesome, guys. But it helps that you tell them every once in a while.
Oh, of course, and we always will, because we absolutely appreciate everything they're doing, allowing us to do this stuff with Heroes of the Storm so early on here in the game.
Waiting on that pick from Team 2ARC. They've got Tychus right now. Arthas Tassler have been taken. Wouldn't be shocked at a Rhaegar and a Falstad, or a Rhaegar and any other. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Rhaegar. We haven't seen any Tyrael picks today. Wait, we saw one earlier in the Cloud9 game we cast at the start of the day. But Tyrael has been surprisingly unpicked. I believe in the first week of King of the Storm, Tyrael was the most picked banned hero, right?
I think you're right, actually, yeah. I mean, Tyrael, obviously, just with Judgment, the ability to initiate with it, just the ability to dive, and he's so strong. I mean, everything about Tyrael, he's got a great kit. He's super common, but today, not so much, you're right.
Waiting to see still, guys. There's a lot to think about here. This is match point for these teams. This is not just for some from some points for some tournament later happening in the month of November. This is actually also a $100 prize pool donated by the amazing Kitty of the Storm. You can follow her on Twitter at Kitten
of the Storm, I believe.
At Kitty of the Storm.
It is Kitty of the Storm. Okay.
It is Kitty of the Storm. She is the official sponsor, I guess, is the best way to put it. She's sponsoring all of the King of the Storm events. So big shout out to her. Make sure you guys follow. And we do see the next picks from 2ARC, Rhaegar Abathur. Again, seeing that Abathur play.
Rhaegar Abathur, indeed. Don't mind me for a minute here as I'm trying to figure out why my Twitch account isn't showing up on mobile. I'm getting multiple reports saying you can't watch this on mobile. I'm trying to find if there's a setting available here, guys. No idea why that's happening.
Most non-partners don't get posted on mobile.
Yes,
maybe it's like I know you're a partner now, but maybe it hasn't fully registered within the system.
That's interesting, but I have been linked on mobile before, and even like Xander, I saw him on mobile. I just checked on the app, and so it's odd that we're not on mobile here. And apologies for that. Not too sure why it's happening.
Well, the mobile people can't hear you, so you don't have to say sorry.
Well, people that might have tried to watch on mobile.
Got him.
All right, all right. Not too sure what's going on there, but the draft continues on here.
We're still waiting. A lot going through the team of Glorious right now. They've been prioritizing that Malfurion just because it's such a comfort pick for Nick. Doubt we'll see a Brightwing still. Abathur Tychus Rhaegar is not something that Brightwing calls for. It screams Brightwing, so we're likely still going to see that Malfurion pick. I just wouldn't really be surprised if we saw Malfurion Falstad and then a Chen final pick or something else for Glaurung to play.
I mean, yeah, time will tell for sure, but like you said, there's a lot on the line here. It's everything from pride to the money and the points leading into the next big event the week after BlizzCon. So they want to make sure they take this. It's a big game for 2ARC. They beat Glorious last week. They want to prove it wasn't a fluke. They want to prove that they can do it again, but Glorious wants to prove that they are the better team. You know, Glorious has had dominant performances in the past, time and time again.
Chen Nova.
Yeah, Chen Nova. Last week, people were a little surprised to see 2ARC come over them because prior to that, 2ARC was, I believe, 1-11 in one of the leagues and 1-5 in the other league. Not the strongest records, but they made some changes to their roster, and they're coming in to say, no, we're here to show you guys that we can play the game. We're here to show you that we can really rock some people. But Chen Nova, I mean, we've seen ZPs on Chen many times. Even in this series, we've seen ZPs on Chen. And again, Nova has been climbing in popularity over the last several weeks.
Doesn't look, ZP won't be playing Chen now. He'll be playing Arthas.
Yes, you're probably right in this
Glaurung's
scenario.
going to be on Chen. Sonya Tyrael. Okay, so this is crazy because obviously Tyrell's a high priority pick, but Sonya is considered way, way lower tier right now.
Yep.
Just the addition of Chen and both Nubrak has made her much, much lower in priority. And a lot of teams have even been favoring Kerrigan over Sonya. So to see this Sonya pick is really shocking to me.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, it used to be called the Eraser build back in the day. Yep. People would dive in with Tyrael using his smite, and Sonya would leap on in and just slam, slam, slam. But since then, her slam has been nerfed a decent amount. It doesn't have the same kind of burst it once had, and it's really kind of fallen off. Granted, Sonya does have a stronger whirlwind where she gets more health regen, so she can stay alive a bit longer and be more tanky as a result. But it's not the same kind of Eraser build that we used to have here in the game.
Is that 2ARC's full lineup? Yeah. They have Tychus, Rhaegar, Abathur, Chen, or Sonya Tyrael. So yes, that is their full lineup. So we're just waiting on the final pick from Glorious. A lot to consider here. They have yet to pick a support, so that's what they're thinking on. They have the Eraser build, and Nick's very comfortable on Malfurion, but Emerald Wind is going to be really good at disengaging when that Sonya Tyrael is on top of them.
Yeah, it's the perfect disengage, really. It's such a nice hard disengage where you can just be, like say, hey, look, you're going to come on us. We're just going to back on up here.
But then again,
and then reposture.
But then again, Brightwing would be the primary target in their current comp because Nova's mainly stealth unless you can catch her, and then killing anyone else is going to be hard to kill. And going for the mouth anyways.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this because especially when you consider what they have right now, both options are good. Either Tranquility or Twilight Dream are completely viable in this composition.
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Twilight Dream, to be honest.
Yeah,
Twilight
I really
Dream
wouldn't.
would be really good here.
Yeah.
When you have that double dive on you, like if Sonya and Tyrael can't do anything when they dive in,
you can just say, no, back off. You can't cast any abilities, get away from us. But at the same time, they do have a relatively tanky team other than their Nova, and Tranquility would get a ton of use keeping, Arthas, the Archon, and Chen with the double health bar. It's a team that would never die with Tranquility. Malfurion obviously becomes the prime target, but you have plenty of body blocking, plenty of positioning to help keep him alive here. So I think it's going to be an exciting game here. Players are ready, GLHF, 8 GLHF apparently, and I think we're going to get going in this next game here. Roll the dice, see if we get the teams on the right sides.
I am going to say, based off the odds we've had today, it's not going to happen. just because that production value. It's a tough choice. The only thing I'm really going to be interested to see is what heroic Malfurion gets. Like you said, Tranquility is also good, but also Twilight Dream. The thing is, like, if he does take Twilight Dream, then Malfurion becomes the insta-target no matter what for that dive, to kill Malfurion before he gets Twilight Dream off. So it's also good to help, make sure Tyrael and Barbarian die, but then, he becomes Twilight Dream. Let's go ahead and get those introductions going on the blue side of the map. Was your overlay right, Jake?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, let's get going. We have Glorious Gaming here with Nick on Malfurion, Glaurung on Chen, ZPS on Arthas with that Master Skin, Cthulhu on Tassadar, and Syracuse on Nova. And in the red trunks, we have Team 2ARC Iliad, Mr. J Pickles on Abathur, Furiously on Tychus, Quibsy on Tyrael, Keepers on Barbarian, and Asadia on Rhaegar.
Well, overlay is set, game is set, the gates are opening, guys. This is game number 3 between 2ARC Iliad and Glorious, and I am pumped to see what's going to happen here. This is kind of a grudge match, as last week we actually saw 2ARC go over Glorious here, and Glorious wants to take this victory, advancing into the semifinals of this tournament.
We'll have to see if either team can pull off a pick here. Both teams playing pretty timid right now. We're going to have to keep an eye on, more than likely we'll be seeing a Glaurung in one of the side lanes as well as Nick. We're going to be seeing that Nova Arthas gank squad coming from ZPS and Syracuse.
I mean, it's such a terrifying gank squad. It's one of the stronger gank squads. I mean, you pair anyone with a lot of damage output with Arthas, and it's quite scary. That's for sure. We already have this initiation here in the bottom. Excuse me, not initiation, just push. Pushing back this lane. Make sure everyone's soaking their lanes. Chest will be spawning right now. And this is going to be a free chest here in favor of 2ARC on the bottom lane of the map. Leaving a coin behind. Just playing it safe.
Got to Syracuse.
So 2 coins, wow.
This split is smart. With the Abathur, there is no way at all that, unless Glorious just completely walks into them, there's no way that they would have won top chest. So it's just a smart realization from 2ARC. They send 2 people bot lane so they can try and secure that entire chest for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, playing passively, not wanting to get too out of position. They obviously saw the Nova there, not wanting to lose their life. Only getting those 3 coins. It's pretty even, but at this point, having 7 coins available, 2 small camps of pirates will be enough to get that first turn in, but I don't know if we'll see the turn in too soon in this game.
Keepers and Furiously going for the Syracuse, and ZPS might want to go for the Abathur hat is there, and here they go, and they are coming in. They're going to force them out. They're going straight onto Furiously. He doesn't have the Abathur hat, and the camp will go in favor of Team Glorious, and they do not secure that kill. Really smart thing that they did there, going onto Furiously for multiple reasons. Of course, he has the escape that Sony doesn't, but he didn't have the Abathur hat. When you cancel the Abathur hat, there's like a 3-4 second cooldown where you can't put down, so Furiously would not be able to get shielded in an easy kill target.
And I just like the decision-making there. They didn't want to keep chasing for the potential kill. They said, look, we got the Giants. Let's grab the coins and back off. It's already an XP gain. We stole the Giants, which they now have to defend, and we have the coins, which is worth quite a bit. Just really nice. No one's getting too greedy. Both teams playing.
Glaurung's getting Doven on here in the bottom lane, though. Sonya is going on him. The sun does go down, and Abathur hat doing a lot of damage with Furiously does secure first blood for Team 2ARC.
Yeah, nicely done there. I mean, Glaurung just a little bit forward. Again, we're seeing him on a lot of different characters today, which is pretty cool to see. But I don't actually know how much Chen he's played on in terms of competitive matches, at least.
Glaurung's on break from school, and he's just playing this game so much. Like, he's just going ham on the matches.
That's awesome.
Playing at all times. So, yeah, he's definitely been able to broaden his hero pool. And then we do see that Knights are taken in the bot lane. The ZPS and Syracuse not here in time. They're just going to have to clean that up.
Yep, I mean, at this point, we just see the lanes are being soaked. Malfurion going to be grabbing a couple coins here. Nick just want to keep that coin count high. If we look at the coins here on the map, there's 11 here for Glorious and 5 on the side of 2ARC.
Now 13 for Glorious with Nick securing those pirates. He'll be able to secure the pirates of his own after he takes this top lane experience out of their heroic, or out of their mines, doing a lot of push here. And we have Keepers and Furious D just roaming from camp to camp, taking the Knights on the top right side. Where is Arthas and Nova? They're on the bottom left. They're going to take their own Giants right now. The Avatar mine is there, though, and it does alert to 2ARC that they are taking that.
Yeah, nice just map awareness using those mines on Abathur. Very nice, just giving you the knowledge of what mercenary camps they're grabbing at that moment, giving you the opportunity to do other things if, you know, in the right scenarios. Just knowing 2 members won't be present in other team fights. Now, Quipsy and Glaurung just kind of exchanging blows here. Like we said earlier, this is actually a very even lane. Glaurung on Chen. Chen, one of the few heroes that can actually go toe-to-toe with a laning Tyrael. And we actually have 9 coins turned in, uncontested, for 2ARC here.
It looks like Glorious is willing to go in for a turn in as well. ZP having 10 kills on himself. Syracuse stepping on an Abathur mine does alert to Team 2ARC that they are here. ZP should get this off, though, with Nick zoning, though, and they do get the turn in here. Abathur goes straight onto Nick. He's getting focus fire down. Fierce D comes forward. Big freeze, though, from ZPS, catching all 4 members there, and that's easily going to allow them to disengage. Was enough damage done to the middle fort? No, it was not. So they will not get the fort with the first pirate ship. But they'll be able to push up do a push follow-up later. Yeah,
really nicely done with that freeze, being able to back up there, and actually 2ARC just got immediately in position to grab the 5 coins on the bottom chest, and it looks like the top chest went in favor of Glorious here. ZP is falling back to their Knights, knowing it's a pretty safe play here as well on their side of the map, going to grab them to counteract the top push they have here in the top lane.
So map control right now slightly in favor of Team Glorious. You know, 2ARC should be constantly keeping in mind on that middle fort. They don't want to lose it easily. They have the mule there, so they're trying to make sure that does get topped off. And a second turn in happens here. It goes to 2ARC, despite the cannonballs looking blue on my screen. That always gets me. But yes, it does go to 2ARC, and they did enough damage to the fort. Maybe with Tacitor shields, they'll be able to prevent them from losing the fort. It's going to be really close, though.
I actually think that's a graphical glitch, because the text is red, but the cannonballs are blue on my screen. But
yes,
that's quite interesting. Anyways, yeah, at this point in the game, I mean, everyone's just kind of posturing. This fort, like you said, it's going to take a lot of damage, but it's barely going to live here.
Those task shields, saving the day. So smart. Usually, for those of you that are new to the game, if you take, you don't even have to kill an entire tower. If you guys focus fire a tower down to maybe like a little less than, to about a 4th HP, the first turn in will kill it if there's no mule or Tacitor shields on it.
Or Abathur. There's a few things, yeah.
You don't even have to kill the whole tower. Just get one tower to less than a 4th, I believe, and it'll completely take the entire fort with the first turn in.
Well, we see all the members of Glorious are here at the turn-in. They have quite a few coins they are turning in right now. But 2ARC is posturing here, potentially to defend. All the members are on their way here. Abathur clone. It's level 10. Both teams have their heroics. We're going to have a big team fight here.
And there we go. Quipsy going straight onto Nick. Keepers does lick in. There's the huge radar heal. But Thunlock getting focused right down hard. Here's the Nova Heroic. Does evaporate Quipsy. No one from Team Glorious has fallen yet. Tassar is kiting away. Good Malfurion catching a few members of Mr. Painfuls. Does go into the Odin on that Abathur clone, but it does immediately get evaporated. Glaurung gonna have to back off. Kill going to... Looks like 2ARC should be able to secure that. No, but the Heroic does go down, and he is going to get out of there. Quipsy actually might have been overextended, but the Arthur Slow does end up rooting, and all of Team Glorious is going to be able to back out there. Syracuse gets so low to the grenade, but the roots from Malfurion. Perfect timing from that. 1 kill going to Glorious. They didn't lose their coins, and still only 1 coin from turning. A beautiful fight there.
Yeah, I mean, really, Syracuse was able to dish out so much damage in that fight, getting a beautiful precision strike, doing a boatload of damage. And honestly, for the first half of that engagement, left alone entirely, just able to sit there, sniping away, dishing out a lot of damage, and it worked out well for them. I mean, we saw a beautiful ancestral healing, but we have another initiation as the action is nonstop here.
The gate goes down onto Syracuse. He's immediately evaporated. Cthulhu is the next focus fire target. They are going for him. Will they be able to get that kill? Nick coming up. The healing ward is down. A big heal onto Keevers. The special healing cooldown is so short that it'll just be up again. No heroics up for Glorious. They have longer cooldowns there. A 1-for-1 trade. And I don't know if Glorious can take this. And Red Team actually takes mid fort with those Abathur promotes. Really good job there.
Wow, that was a really, really nice Ancestral Healing, really clutch, but the engagements still have not stopped. We have Keepers here wanting to initiate. Clairvoyance goes down to give complete vision, knowing exactly what's up. It's 4v5 in the bottom. Abathur Clone is not available at this moment, or it's at least not up. Keepers is going to fall, maybe not, actually getting back here. Very nicely done. Glowering not want to go too ham with the flying kick, and they're keeping the push on here in the bottom lane. Glorious wants to get this chest, but you know what? I don't think 2ARC's going to give it up.
10 seconds on Storm, Earth, and Fire, though, and Glorious is going to go on to Keepers. He is getting half of HP right now. Special Healing's not up. There's the Archon. Fiericity is getting pretty low. Glower wants to go for it. He does have Storm, Earth, and Fire, so he can completely chase this, and there he goes, leaping over it. Odin does go down. Keepers does end up falling as well, and Glower going to leap right over here, and they do secure both the chests with that Abathur in the middle, slapping away at that chest.
Anyways, yeah, I just want to say that was really, really clutch. I mean, coming over the wall like that, going after Fiericity. Fiericity popped Odin immediately after seeing Chen was going to be engaging, forcing Glaurung to use Panda Pals as well to then retreat. Just super close, 2 kills there, but both those heroes having that second health bar, allowing them to live. Really nicely done by all the players in that, and congrats to the Abathur for successfully slapping a chest down. I don't know if I've ever watched him just slap away at a chest.
That was pretty awesome, especially that skin. It looks so evil and terrifying just to see him whacking away at the chest of Slayers. Now, Mule is actually doing a lot for Team 2ARC right now. So many cannon shots that normally wouldn't have been used on this mid fort are now being used because the fort was full HP. I believe it was a total of 6 shots, no, 5 shots total were consumed on this middle fort, where before it took 1, maybe 2. That's a huge advantage that Team 2ARC have, you know, because every time you turn in coins, it grows and grows and grows. So the more you have to turn in to take these forts, the harder it is to get the turn-ins late game.
Yep, well, we have this big initiation here at the top. ZP's going right on in on Quibsy. They want to knock Quibsy back here. ZP's actually getting knocked back, and the nice heroic leap followed by the precision strike doing massive damage on Keepers and Quibsy. Ancestral Healing comes down. Cthulhu is going to fall here. Quibsy backing on up and knowing he has 6 coins, wants to keep those alive if possible. Mr. J Pickles with the Odin here as the Abathur clone. Doesn't matter too much if he dies. He can dish out as much damage as he can. Syracuse might be falling here. Quibsy gets the kill. Down. Yes, beautifully done. And they are on the aggression here. Mr. J Pickles, once again, we actually have Fiericity now finally popping his Odin. This fort is going to fall.
It's just, you know, the heroics all weren't there for Team Glorious. They didn't have Archon ready in time. They didn't have the Storm, Earth, and Fire, so they weren't able to fully engage with those heroics. And we saw Syracuse, or excuse me, we saw Cthulhu fall early on Taskbar, and then Syracuse getting sniped at the end. A nice team fight overall from 2ARC.
Yeah, well, we actually see Mr. J Pickles on Abathur once again soaking the bottom lane, making sure they get that continued experience lead. They're on course to hit level 16 prior to Glorious, giving them that level 16 advantage in talents. It's a huge advantage to have. I mean, they took a nice victory in that team fight there, having the heroic advantage as we saw. But the 16 talents, man, they make a difference.
Yeah, they do, and they're just about to hit that. Bottom fort is being sieged by this Abathur. It is got the wall completely down right now, despite not having a second turn in. Top fort was claimed, and the Knights are chasing on this Grey Golems. Team Glorious is aware that that will end up killing the Grey Golem alone, so they're willing to roam towards the mid lane, potentially go for a team fight here.
Yeah, this Golem's doing a bit of work, even with the Knights there, but like you said, they can just leave it alone and it will fall on its own. The Giants are taken here for 2ARC, and looks like Glorious is going to be collecting the coins and collecting these Giants on their side of the map here.
And then, so if they do get another turn in here, it will take that top fort as the wall is down, despite Mule or not. Bot fort does end up falling, giving a full level 16, almost a full level lead entirely. Actually, a complete full level lead to Team 2ARC. And I don't know if they can fight here. The loot does go down to slow that. Mr. J Pickles goes ahead and uses that Abathur clone onto Tychus. And I don't know if Glorious can fight this. I think they have to back off. Wait out that Abathur clone. Let them get the turn in because they really can't stop this.
Yeah, no, it's not a good choice at all. But they see the initiation here. Getting the Abathur clone, not the end of the world. Turn-in is real here. 12 coins have been turned in. Still 8 coins left on Acadia, and they're just going to back on up, knowing that they have the tower shots. going down. Abathur continuing to siege the top lane, continuing to be where the enemies are not, soaking the experience and keeping a nice experience advantage here in favor of 2ARC.
Yeah, and I really just like that precision strike used by Syracuse there. Really didn't, I mean, it was completely missed. The kill was secured. It didn't even hit him. Could have potentially used that to delay the other team, but there we do have the mid fort is exposed. Bot lane wasn't even taken by team 2ARC, and they're immediately backing off because the ship should, no, it will not take that keep. Not enough shots just left. They're going to back off, though. Don't want to get ganked here. And here go. Glorious finally getting that level 16 talent.
No, I just love the decision there, saying, look, hey, they're at our fort. Let's go take their keep. Glorious forced it back, but we have a big initiation here. Judgment going down on ZPs. The Odin is here. Jared, take it away.
And the heals, there are very few goals left over. The Keepers does get topped off here. Glauron going straight onto Quibsy. Precision Strike does help clear them up. Everyone on Glorious is still pretty topped off. Archon going straight in. Glauron driving onto Furious D here. No Abathur clone just yet. Remember, it was used earlier to no effect. And Furious D, will he be able to get away? It doesn't look like it. Somka ends up looping around in a weird direction, as well as Rhaegar. He's trying his hardest to get away. Glauron is in full pursuit. The body block is happening. The storm does go down. The Moonfire hits, and there we go. 2-0 in favor of Glorious, and they are confident enough. Level 16, they're just going to walk straight through here, take out the fort, and potentially go for that keep. They have 20 seconds on Tyrael.
Now, Keepers and Akidia are here to defend, and we have a big push here from the Abathur in the bottom lane, trying to take out that bottom wall there. But we can see that Glorious is, in fact, on the massive offensive, all 5 members up, but opting to fall back here.
Yeah, I mean, taking down that wall later on, it makes it just so easy if they win a team fight, which, if it goes like the last one did, of course they will, it just gives them that option to go, okay, we're going to take the fort, and we're going to keep the keep, and then win the game.
And at
this point...
Yeah, when you consider the cannonballs as well, they don't have to be wasted on the wall there. The wall is open, ready to shoot down the keep when the time comes, but they do still have the top and bottom fort available, so it's going to be a while before that becomes an apparent advantage.
Glorious definitely needs to avoid fighting right now. They still have 23 seconds on Storm, Earth, and Fire, and everything else will be up by then, so they don't want to fight at this exact moment. Top fort definitely going to go to Glorious. They're going to clear up that bot lane and take a bottom fort. So actually, this suddenly evens up the game on forts with this play right here.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It's going to bring it to 3 to 3 forts in just a little bit here. Once the top one falls, they're going to be in position to take out this bottom fort potentially, and you know, the 1 fort advantage at the moment for 2ARC, but the bottom fort is going to be taking a little bit of damage here.
Yeah, and they are here, though, and Glorious is smart enough to realize that they don't see anyone from 2ARC. They're not going to go for this. They're just going to back off. Yes, the cannons weren't enough to take that fort, but they're going to go defend against top lane. They're going to take care of those knights, not willing to force that fight just yet. Let's take a look at the coin count here, and it looks like Team 2ARC does not have enough coins for a full turn-in. Yes, they have 11 coins total.
Yeah, they're trying to grab some of those coins right now, seeing if they can get enough for the turn. And we actually have Glorious here taking their knights in the top part of the map to defend the offensive knights of 2ARC, pushing that lane presently.
Ooh, Mr. J Pickles going ham on this mid fort here with his Abathur clone, going to try and take it down, but Glorious reacting very quickly, not going to let that happen. And this is the prime time for Glorious to push a fight. Abathur clone is... Actually, it's not down. I lied.
Well, we see that 2ARC wants to get the turn-in. They have enough coins right here. They're going to get the turn-in for free. That middle fort, the middle keep, rather, going to be taking some pressure here. I believe that is going to be the priority target for Mr. Blackheart.
Yep, and that should definitely fall. No mule on Glorious's end, and they are going to have to make a play happen here. They are going for the Grey Golem here, but here comes 2ARC. Will the Clairvoyance be enough to get that initiation from Tyrael and Barbarian? And here they go. Tyrael does poke forward here. Quibsy immediately goes in. Keepers doesn't go for the leap just yet. They're immediately backing off. Abathur trying to keep Quibsy alive. Precision Strike going to immediately do a lot of damage to that Keepers, and he should end up dying. Smite so much, though. Will the dot save him? No, he does end up living. Oh, Moonfire, though, from Nick.
Wow.
Secures the kill.
Yeah, the Moonfire to get that kill, not something you see happen that much, but at the same time, 2ARC has a massive push here in the bottom. The Giants are doing a ton of work. The top keep is at less than half health from Blackheart, but Glorious is going to try to push and take down this keep themselves.
They have to end this now. They're about to lose a second keep, and their top is exposed. They really need to make a play off of this 38 seconds. They're going in on Furious D. He is rooted right now. Glauron is getting pretty low right now. All heroics have been used. There comes the Storm, Earth, and Fire. Furious D's Odin does get topped off there. Grey Golem is still over half HP. Still no Abathur clone being used just yet. Quibsy at the front line, trying to body block as much as can. Fiercey doing a lot of damage to ZP. They're going straight in. There's the Judgment, dispersing the team. ZP still has a lot of HP, though. Nick doing a good job of keeping up. And then we do see Chen ends up falling. Tiro might fall as well. They have to back off, though, or go for the win. They're going to back off. Sonya is up in 7 seconds. They're down a Chen. They can't fight this. Bottom keep did end up falling during this. There's no keeps. Oh, actually, no tops falling.
Glorious has to back immediately. They're going. They see this big push here. They see the promote here. The middle lane has the catapult to the Giants here. I mean, they're pushed in every lane. Now the top keep is still standing, but for how much longer? Because the Abathur Mr. J Pickles has been all over the aggression. Anytime Glorious is on the other side of the map, their lanes are getting pushed incredibly hard.
Yeah, but we did see that in game number 1 where that was the same exact situation, and Glorious was able to capitalize on a moment to end the game. They don't have much wiggle room, though. They're going to have to win a team fight and immediately go across the map, or the Abathur backdoor is real. We actually seen it in all three games. Abathur's doing insane gore damage. The 2% from last game alone just attests to how much pressure it has. Now, Glorious is almost level 20. That's why they're kind of just chilling back and farming right now. They can't fight without 20. How many? I believe they'll have 2. Both teams have 2 resurgences.
Now, we see that 2ARC does not have quite enough coins. They're trying to farm up the map right here, and there's quite a few coins on the side of Glorious, but they don't have enough either. They're just going to keep these lanes pushed back. The chests are up, and it's going to be a point of contention here in this match.
Here we go. Will the team fight be good enough? Everyone is level 20. Funluck going straight in. Glauron going on to Quibsy. There's the Judgment onto ZP. Has a pop the stroke, and Quibsy immediately going to get evaporated. Glauron going straight onto Fiercey. There's the Archon from Funluck going to do a lot of damage at level 20. He's just going straight at him. There's the Precision Strike. Keeper's taking a lot of damage right now. Will he end up getting out of there? No, it will not look like that's the case. 2 for nothing right now. What can Abathur do in this time limit? Because they don't have much time. Fiercey is backing up. Asadia's trying to keep up that Odin. Mr. J Pickles trying to secure a kill on Syracuse, and he does end up getting that kill. So 2 for 1 in favor of Team 2ARC, or Team Glorious, but the Resurgences immediately back up Australian and Barbarian.
Yeah, Resurgence being an incredibly strong talent, all 5 members of 2ARC are back alive here, and while it looked like they were going to lose that fight, having 5 members back in, Keeper's getting very low ancestral healing on him will keep him nice topped off. ZP's able to sustain a lot of damage. He's going to try to back up here. It will be enough. Chthon Luck, 1 hit away. Quibsy going to go for it, but the root is huge! Oh my goodness! Chthon Luck mounting up, getting out of here right away. That was a massive root, but Nick might be paying with his life.
They can't afford to lose anyone else right now. If anyone else falls, and it does look like Nick does get the ice block down. Quibsy's up here by himself with the Stadia, but Nick does end up falling, and if ZP falls here, that is their Resurgent news, and 8 coins lost here. All lanes are being pushed right now. We have catapults in the mid lane. It looks like this might be GG.
I mean, the lanes are open. The path is clear. Every member of 2ARC is funneling down this lane, gunning for the core. They know they can end the game. There's not much to defend this here. And 2ARC's actually going to defeat Glorious here 2-1.
It was looking really good there for Team Glorious Gaming, but they ended up killing the 2 people they didn't want to. With that Resurgence from Quibsy and Keithers immediately back alive, and the core does end up falling. GG, 2ARC Gaming is moving on to play Team Liquid in the round of 4.
Oh my goodness, Resurgence really coming through there in the end. I mean, just showing the strength of that. Honestly, I thought they were in a bad spot. I almost said Glorious is going to push, and then I looked at the respawn timers, and they were back. Yes, we are in camera. The lounge position. This is how we watch video games.
This is how I cast, guys. I'm just like back like this, and I like look over and see Jake like sitting up. I'm like, oh.
Yes, that nerd posture is real, of course.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Well, you know, excellent performance there by both teams. Both of those last 2 games were so good. I mean, but congratulations to 2ARC.
All 3 games were good, actually.
Yeah,
that was just an amazing set altogether.
Yeah, seriously, I'm really glad we decided to go with these matches because, oh my goodness, it delivered. 2ARC showing how much they've grown over the past several weeks here. I mean, seriously, last week they looked great. They 2-0'd Snowflake and Glorious, and they beat Glorious again 2-1 here, and now they're going to be playing against the one and only Team Liquid.
Are we casting all of the round of 4 in the finals, or is it just one match of round of 4 and then we do finals?
I actually don't have a clue. I'm just kind of running with things. I think the way it works is the stream with the more viewers ends up doing the finals, so I believe we'll be doing the finals. Chances are they'll be doing the other semi, and we'll just be doing this match and then into the grand finals. But don't quote me on that. See, Steve kind of dictates everying that happens in terms of who casts what.
See, Steve like has his own little methods of doing things.
Yeah, so we're just kind of going with the flow here, guys. But we're gonna get ready for our next game as Team Liquid is on deck. I know they were watching this series. We're going to prep up in just a few moments, so stay tuned while we prepare for Team Liquid versus 2ARC here in the semifinals of Kings of the Storm. It's a best of 3 series once again, and we'll be back in just a moment.